Hi everybody, today we're going to be making 3 different comfort foods from all over the world. The first one we're going to have a slow cooker beef and potato curry. The second we're going to have an Italian chickenless chicken noodle soup and my favorite Midwestern deep dish baked beans. And in the theme of all things comfort, I've got on my big warm sweater and my sidekick, the Cool Lime Refresher, fancy with light ice. I'm not really sure what I would do without it.
You are basic, I can tell. You love Starbucks, always on your cell.
Okay, so let's get started. So this recipe originally called for about 2.5 pounds of beef and 1 pound of potatoes, but I've actually switched that around to only have about a pound of stewed beef and 2 to 2.5 pounds of red skin potatoes. So when you're at the store, you're going to be looking for little guys like this. Just the classic red skin potato. And what I've done is just taken a damp napkin and just kind of cleaned off the potatoes, trying to get off as much dirt as possible. So I'm just going to go through the bowl and kind of look for any imperfections or dirt that I might see. And if you see anything you don't like, just shave it off with your peeler. And it's good to go. So I'm going to be cutting these in half and just adding them to my yellow bowl here. All of our potatoes are in the bowl now. And next I'm just going to roll up my sleeves and we'll add the beef to the bowl as well. So here we just have stewed beef and we'll just throw it right in. I use my knife because I'm a stickler about if my hands or anything ever so slightly touches beef, I have to clean them right away. I'm just going to toss this really quick. And now time for our dry ingredients. The first thing we have is curry. And if many of you don't know, curry is a seasoning that hugs you from the inside out. It's beautiful and full of flavor and adds amazing color to dishes. So we're going to look for about 2 tablespoons worth of curry here. Just break it up if it has any clumps. And then just toss it over. So I'm using a ½ tablespoon right now, so 4 of these. Perfect, I had about 4 in here anyways. And then next is just a little bit of cumin. So it calls for 1 teaspoon, but I'm just going to eye it. And cumin can be used in a lot of dishes. We use it in Indian dishes, in taco seasoning. It's a really versatile seasoning, also in chili as well. So now that those seasonings are in, I'm just going to add a little salt and pepper to be safe. Wonderful. So next we're going to add garlic. And the reason why I use a garlic paste is because whenever I use fresh garlic and chop it up, it actually makes the tip of my fingers burn. I'm not really sure why, but it's just safer to do it this route. So once again, just 2 tablespoons of this. Go in there. And then 1 more. So if you can't tell, this is going to be super flavorful. Garlic's done. And next we're going to cut up our ginger. So we're looking for 2 tablespoons of ginger as well. And for ginger, for those of you who don't know what it looks like, just this little guy here. And it usually comes in fun tree-looking ginger forms, I suppose, but when I'm at the grocery store, my secret is that I rip it off and run away in hopes that nobody saw me do it. So we're just going to go ahead and skin it here. Bring over our old potato bowl. Get all the scrapings in there. No. So the ginger's peeled. And then we're just going to go ahead and give it a fine dice here. And it can be kind of hard to cut, so make sure that your pieces are breaking apart. As you can see, I have to manually break them apart right now. Wonderful. Now we'll do the other half. And look at that. That's the hardest part. The hardest part's over. cutting up the potatoes and the ginger. Break them up here. And then just tossing it with our beef and potatoes and other delicious seasonings. And next, I just found a bigger lid than the one that goes to this container because that one's MIA, so I'm just going to set this on top. We're going to give it a shake here. Meat. And then after that, I'm just going to go in and do a little mixing on my own. You can smell the curry and the ginger. This is going to be amazing. And it's so easy because it's a slow cooker. You can make this if you have friends coming over. If you know that during the week you're going to be really busy, you can throw it into your crock pot during your Sunday and just have it for the whole week to take to work or to have when you come home from dinner. Okay, so we're just going to put our potato and meat mixture just right into the crock pot bowl here. Make sure you get all the seasonings and goodness in. That is good to go. And then next, we're going to be slicing up some naan. So the naan's going to go right on top of the beef and potato mix. And here I just have 4 mini rounds. So probably 2 to 3 large rounds. And we'll just slice these here. We'll do them in pieces of 3. So just like that. Place them on top, all around. And then the last ingredient before we start cooking it up here is 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. Juice and all, you just pour right on top. Wonderful. Just spread that across here. And then your potato and beef curry is ready to go. So we're going to put it on the slow cooker for 7 hours and just keep an eye on it. So after the 7 hours has passed, we'll come back here. We're going to make up a really good spicy cilantro jalapeno sauce to add to this mixture, and then it can also be used on top. And you can use it for dipping your naan as well. So I'll meet you back here in 7 hours so we can finish up our beef and potato curry. So the next item that we're going to be making up is the spicy cilantro sauce that we're going to add to our beef and potato curry. And it's just going to go in there and give it that little extra kick of heat. And then we can also put it on top if you prefer heat. If not, we can just leave it with the little bit that will be going in our curry. So I'm going to get started here. My face is probably going to be cut off, but that's fine with me. So we have 1/4 cup pickled jalapenos. Dump that just right into the blender. And then we're going to have equal parts water. So just 1/4 cup of water. 2 tablespoons. Like I said, this is quite spicy, so adjust it how you'd like. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And then a handful of cilantro. Just go ahead and flip that right in half. Force it down in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of garlic paste as well. Just use this to push it down in there. And then we'll let it go for a spin. Remember, forewarning, this is loud. You'll see that the cilantro just gives it this gorgeous green color. I'll go ahead and give her a sniff, clear out my sinuses, I'm sure. That's going to be great. Give it one more quick pulse. Add a little bit more salt. And we're good to go. I'm just going to let that sit in the refrigerator for the last couple hours that the curry is cooking up here. And then with about 10 minutes to go, we'll go in here, skim off any fat there might be, and add a little bit of this mixture to our curry. So stay tuned because we will be back to enjoy this curry soon enough. The curry is complete. As you can see here, we have a big old hearty bowl with the beef and potatoes, and you have those tomatoes in there as well. And what I've done is just cut up a couple pieces of mini naan. So I'll just set these in here, make it look nice and pretty. And then I'm just going to top it with some remainder of the sauce. Look at that. That green color is just beautiful. So that is our slow cooker curry. And one thing I'd like to say too is that since I did reduce the beef, I took the beef out with about 3 to 4 hours left of the cooking process, just because you don't want to overcook the beef. But if you are using the 2.5 pounds suggested, just take a look at the beef around the 5-hour mark. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Time for me to start eating.